I have to make a video about this. I'm just so fucking tired of it, and that probably got me demonetized right there. I don't care. So, step one, I want you to see. In fact, I can't play it because if I play it, it's going to demonetize me again. This is an hour and 20 minute long video that has exactly 15 minutes of 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 music that was from my own Spotify that I paid for. And most of the music in my Spotify, I've also bought a copy of the music, and I accidentally turned the music on at the end of an hour and 20 minute long video, and it was kind of playing in the background for the rest. And the entire fucking Finnick video got demonetized because of that. The reason that YouTube freaks the fuck out over this shit, I mean, all the people on YouTube are like, "Oh my god, they're trying to get my." This is me just making videos, just like hitting the record button. Can you imagine? Can you imagine if I had spent like a week with an editing team making this video and accidentally put it? I can't appeal it or anything. I mean, you can, but it never works. So, I mean, it does say you can appeal. I could probably try and appeal here, or I guess I can delete, trim out the segment. That's probably what I'm going to do, right? Or I can replace the song or mute the song. I mean, it's enough to not be a problem, right? And actually, in this particular case, I'm just going to put if you mute the song, I think it takes forever to do that. Let's just trim out the segment. But I want to talk some more about this because this is fucking annoying. All right. It's gonna take ready forever to trim and everything. I wanted to show everybody when I did this though, so went ahead and made a video about it. It has to process the whole video all over again. All right. So while that's doing that, let's just talk about this whole copyrighted music thing for a bit. Okay. Okay. So an hour. So an hour long video is demonetized by demonetized demonetized is demonetized by 15-second bit of music, and it's not at the end. It's kind of like it's just music. I mean, to me that's under fair use, but apparently not. So apparently 15 seconds is too long. So I have to clip it in this case, and but risk of having whole video blocked. And I've had that happen before. I had a 9-hour video of me talking about the inauguration while it was happening, while I was watching C-SPAN on YouTube, blocked by a random Japanese company who made a copyright claim against it. True story. The system is broken. It's really broken, and I'm just ranting about it. I mean, I think everybody knows this. I mean, this is like I'm just ranting to the choir here, because so many people already understand this in the YouTube community. But I want to make a couple of conclusions here that ethically put me in a place where I'm comfortable. Okay, so first of all, the question is it even right to stream, even right as in right, like moral, we'll put that, moral to stream copyright music that you have paid for? And what sense of it is it that you have purchased? In my case, the only copyrighted music I ever stream is stuff I have purchased. I own it. That means I own the rights to listen to it. Now, I know this stuff about broadcast. So the problem is the definition of broadcast. So, the laws on the books right now do not take into account broadcast. And we're gonna get someplace else here. There's another thing I want to show you about Twitch that I found, and there's some technology related to it. And then there is a statement about the ethics and morality of streaming copyrighted music that Twitch has made. They've subtly made a statement without coming straight out and say it. I'm going to get there in a second. So the problem is the whole problem is the definition of broadcast. So these laws were put in place for one reason: to prevent, the businesses that own the music, because the authors don't own the music. In no case does the author themselves. They love to, the people who promote these laws, they love to like champion that this is stealing from the authors and the artists. It's absolutely not stealing from them. That has been overwhelmingly proven. That the whole Napster cases and everything, all of that stuff has been, it's all on record. You can go look it up. All that stuff just proves that the laws are totally bork, and the powers that be, the people who control the music, i.e. not the band, but or the people producing the music, but the companies to whom they have sold the music in exchange to publish their works and everything. And think of that whole fucking thing is being solved by the sharing economy. I want to put that out there. So the sharing economy is fixing this, and I don't know if it'll ever reach the biggest mass. Will eventually correct all of this. So the sharing economy takes the power away from the shitty middlemen, the people in the middle who are taking money, who are publishing, who are continuing to like license things and say all this stuff. It takes their power away. And the sharing economy says, if you make music, you can give it away for free, or you can. A lot of people are producing really amazing music. I mean, I've talked. So I specifically talked with Sean Johnson, who is one of the people that I love his music the most. His band, you want to call it that. They produce some amazing mantra music. It's very uplifting and everything. I've bought his CD twice. I have his CDs. I'm subscribed to him on Spotify. I've bought his digital versions of his music. I've done everything possible. I drive for an hour and a half to go to his concerts every time I can see him. And I actually had a conversation with him. He might not remember, but we were in the gift shop, believe it or not, at the Asheville Yoga Center, and yeah, we're gonna get to that. So we were at the gift shop in the Asheville Yoga Center, and I got a very rare moment with him alone. We were by the books actually, and I said, Sean, I said, and he was just taking a break, and I was completely overwhelmed. I mean, he's one of the most amazing musicians and just all around creatives I've ever known. And I mean, I every time I go to his things, he tells, he's a storyteller, and then he adds music to it on top of that, and then he runs around like a madman in a yoga session, and helps you like act out the roles of the mantras and the myths that you've just heard. It's just an absolute wonderful person with an amazing talent for storytelling, for music and everything, and he deserves so much money and credit. And I got him there, and I said, how can we support you? I really want to support you. And he says, coming out to these things right here. He goes, and I was buying his album actually in the gift store when I met him. And I said, is there anything else we can do to support you? He goes, I mean, are you on Spotify? He goes, yeah. He said, yeah, we have to be. I'm like, what does that mean? It's like, well, you can't really have music and not be on Spotify right now. Nobody will know who you are. And so, and he goes, I said, well, so you don't make your money off of your music? He goes, oh no, are you kidding? He laughed at me. He laughed at me because the idea to the content creator, to the musician, was laughable. That musicians do not make money. Creators do not make money off of their creations. And they haven't for a long time. So it's the rich production companies that get all of the money. And that includes Spotify. And so, I mean, you can say what you want about Taylor Swift, but her complaint is like, no, I'm not doing this because she's got an amazing talent for whatever you want. And they take the money away. So I'm demonstrating the morality of the issue in general, because the morality that you think you've been told that is right, that you've been caused to feel, just like you've been caused to think jaywalking is illegal, and if you're jaywalking, you should go immediately to prison. That was a controlled attack by the automotive industry, who created a marketing campaign to turn the tide of cultural opinion using a slur. The word J back in the time was equivalent to the N-word, and at the time I think it was the Ford Motor Company who attacked the entire population of the United States because people were dying in the streets because the Model Ts were killing people. And so they took a marketing campaign. They so effectively changed the opinion of the ethics on the matter that to this day, jaywalking is illegal and it's a law. They were able to influence the law of the land. They went so far beyond making it bad into making it illegal. And so now if you jaywalk, you feel shame in America. Well, this is the same thing that the music industry has been doing for decades. The ultra-rich assholes who've been controlling the music industry and screwing everybody else have been going forward and pushing this false ethics on everybody that you are a bad person because you are not doing what they want. You need to go look it up. It's pretty amazing. So, by the way, there are so many other examples of that in history. So if you are feeling a shred of guilt because you're not complying with some laws that were controlled and built and created by these rich fat cat lobbyists in government, then you're becoming a part of their system. And there's something called civil disobedience. Okay, and I'm gonna make a case here. I promise. We need to practice civil disobedience here. So there's every once in a while, not every once in a while, a lot actually, some really horrible law makes it into the law of the land. Like, for example, blacks have to sit at the back of the bus. How the fuck did that ever become law? I'll tell you how it became law. Because the people who had power and money, who controlled the government, made it a law. And all of these God-fearing, wonderful people were suddenly told, this is the law of the land. You're a bad person if you're not following the law. You must also be a jaywalker. You know, oh, you're a black person who drinks from a water fountain that a white person is drinking from, and you cross the street in a way that's illegal, right? You probably don't even think diamonds are a big deal either. It's a whole other marketing campaign that turned completely useless thing into a massive industry. So civil disobedience is a thing. And frankly, sometimes civil disobedience is the right thing to do. And the way you change shitty laws, one of the ways to do that is to do a sit-in, is to do civil disobedience. There's many ways to do this. But the laws of the land that are controlling and ruining the music industry for creators and for creatives and for those, I mean, same thing, and for those who watch and enjoy it, those laws are fucked. And if you don't believe me, go watch the Disney overlay on the Metallica concert while Metallica was giving their own concert. Metallica has been pushing this issue so bad because they don't fucking have a clue how it works, that their own content produced by them in their concert was dubbed over because Disney didn't want to have their content to be blacked out by the YouTube algorithm. That's how screwed up this shit is. This stuff is so fucking screwed up. It is so bad that the creator of the content is now can't even perform their own content and have it recorded because their content will cause the people who are producing the content for them to not even play. I love it. I love the fact that it completely, and totally tanks the very companies that were supposed to make money on this thing. Because let's say it's a publishing company, you know, in this case, it was the actual company that was supposed to get them to do a thing. You can go look it up. It's absolutely hilarious. They put some like sing-songy music on top. Oh, they put Hannah Montana. They put Hannah Montana over Metallica singing their song because they didn't want to have their own content screwed with by the algorithm, because the almighty algorithm, which was built on some shitty law someplace, DCMA, all of a sudden has control of everything. So the truth of the matter is that DCMA is evil, and was created not by the creators. And anybody who tells you that it's protecting the creators is fucking lying to you. It's created for the people who have the power in the system. And the people who have the power in the system are the equivalent to white racists in the 50s, in my opinion. They don't give a shit about you. They don't give a shit about the people they're making money on. They don't give a shit about the people who are listening to their content. They give a shit about one thing: profit for the 1%. They are the equivalent of the worst capitalist pig part of any system. The top shredded, the piece of the very top that just gives a shit about their money and their executive stockbrokers. They don't care about anybody. And so Sean Johnson, when I'm talking to him and he laughs at me, the guy, it just makes me want to cry almost. This guy has dedicated his life to learning this amazing stuff and creating this amazing content. And I've done everything in my power to help him keep going. I've done everything. I've done everything I can. I've gone to his concerts. I chased him down. I'm short of, going to New Orleans where he's from. I talk about him on my stream. I do everything I can because this is a creator that I really, truly believe in. He's changed my life because of his creations. And according to the powers that be, including Spotify, by the way, he can't make a dime off of it. He makes such a shitty, tiny, piddly little amount of money from Spotify and from his record sales. And I said, well, this is the record sales. Does that help? He goes, oh no, it's not enough. But I mean, thank you for that. Nobody buys his CDs. He brings CDs to all these concerts. Nobody fucking buys a CD today. They go rip it or whatever. And here's the thing. If we were living in a truly sharing economy, you wouldn't care about the music. You'd take the song, you'd try the whole song, you'd listen to it, you'd realize, oh my God, I listen to this song all the time. I fucking love it. And, the sharing economy is kind of built on guilt, which is why it doesn't completely work, because you have to actually be grateful and then you have to pay what it's worth to you. And there's too many people that won't pay shit, but that's changing. It's changing because people are so jaded by the I have to pay for everything economy that the sharing economy is totally foreign to them. If they had been, and there's going to come, I promise you, there will be a generation where the sharing economy will be the default. And the people who are raised in the sharing economy, you can go watch, there's another great economist who talks about the sharing economy, the new industrial age, and how it's going to change everything. The sharing economy is built on free and open source software, essentially. The ideas of it, which is why I keep saying, you can say what you want about Richard Stallman, and he's got lots of negative things, but Richard Stallman's ideas have revolutionized society. Steve Jobs and Bill Gates and none of the other technologists can say that. Still, Stallman's free and open source software ideas, open source software, or free software, his ideas have permeated the entire business world and gone even up there. They're the primary ideas behind Creative Commons for Lawrence Lessig and Aaron Schwartz and all them. And they have gone on to influence the entire business model of the world and the entire business model of the sharing economy, which is you make content and you're paid by reputation. You pay by creating new content. And if you're raised in a society where you learn to give back to those things that you like, then you'll end up doing it more. I have a feeling. So right now, people are not participating in the sharing economy. They're not paying their $5 a month to listen to Art of X Rob or whatever. They're doing it because they think they're still going to try to get away with something. They don't feel guilty about it because it's not illegal. And they don't have somebody beating down their door telling them what they need to do. This isn't about my stream, by the way. This is about why I feel the music issues surrounding YouTube and Twitch are completely blown out of proportion, and that Twitch agrees with me. And I'm going to get there next. So the whole DCMA thing is totally evil. It's all run by the industry. I don't have a shred of guilt anymore after going through this, playing the music however I want, because I know that the creators 9 times out of 10 have given up control completely of that, and they're not getting a dime. So I'm not going to be made to feel guilty by some fat 0.01% record producing company that's going to get all the money and is going to continue to kill. You know what's funny is all this shit that started to go down, it started to cause the music industry to decline a little bit. But it's sort of picking up in the idea. We're starting to see more and more quality sharing content come out. Right now, the free, copyright-free movement is mostly crap. And it's got a lot of people that are producing stuff that's not very good. But that's going to change, just like open source software has. I mean, if you were to look at Linux back in whatever 80s or 90s, you'd be like, I don't know if I'm going to use that for my production application in my enterprise, right? You might even be fired for doing so. But what now? Now that same free and open crap that was not very good before has materialized and matured, and it's now so powerful that it has its own foundation. It's a multi-billion, if not trillion-dollar industry. And that equivalent is going to happen to the rest of the content world. We've already seen it happen when they tried to stop, the whole Napster thing and the whole being able to download stuff. And then Spotify kind of came in and places like it. They say, well, hey, let's at least give them a little bit of money for this stuff, because otherwise they're the whole world is just going to continue to practice civil disobedience and rip it all off, and nobody's going to get any money. So that has apparently sort of placated, the balance between the two, and so that's all well and good until you face the new. So the problem is emerging now. So none of this will withstand the new personal broadcasting world. The new world, which is already upon us, that Twitch is front and center on, is personal broadcasting. And there's, you can go read, there's stuff I read recently. It says in 2022, it's projected that 60%, that the personal broadcasting industry is going to grow by 60%, which means that everybody is learning to stream. It's not just gamers. It always starts out with gamers and porn, but right now it's not gamers and porn. It's educators, it's scientists, it's people doing their work. And COVID has accelerated that, because that put us all in our houses, and then they had shortage on GPUs and other stuff because so many people were doing streaming and producing content. They're like, you know what? I need to do this Zoom call. Oh shit, I've got all the stuff necessary to do personal streaming on Twitch or YouTube or whatever. So a ton of people are all of a sudden realizing, I have everything necessary to do personal broadcasting. And it's really funny because every time somebody new comes online, so Tanis just recently came on Twitch. He's been running a professional Linux group for years. He's been a college professor, a teacher at community college. He's been actively engaged in working for a company that shall not be named, doing, and he's one of my favorite streamers. He's brand new. He's only been here for like a month, but he's exactly what he's like. I got a camera. I got this thing, it's kind of okay for us to do streaming now because we're all remote because of COVID, and that whole thing is hitting our world right now. I'm trying to tell you this, the takedown, the conclusion of all of that is that personal broadcasting is becoming the norm. Personal broadcasting is the end game for reality TV. It is the complete fulfillment of all the dreams we've ever had about entertainment being distributed across the masses, for better or worse. You get absolutely crap shit, and you get really phenomenal, amazing content. And that content is all mixed together. And the content that wins is the content that gets voted for, but with dollars. And unfortunately, that means that, boobies and ear licking and, trolls get all the money, because humans, right? That's never going to change. We're never going to be able to change it. What we are going to be able to change, though, as more mainstream people enter the area of personal broadcasting, not company broadcasting, which, by the way, doesn't work. But yeah, the FCC has bought personal broadcasting on radio. Yeah. This is interesting. Yeah. Because they can't control it. I mean, this is the most disruptive communications thing to ever happen to us. When the internet came out, they still tried to stop porn. How easy can you get porn today? You don't even have to say you're over 13 anymore. I'm not promoting porn in the negative sense. I look at porn, in case you're wondering. I think porn in the proper context, and my wife and I talk about this all the time, I think porn in the proper context is phenomenal. And not only that, but I think it could be really great for the world in terms. I'm probably going to lose everybody. They're not going to listen to me. This guy listens to porn and watches porn and thinks porn's okay. Oh my God. If you have a child, then just keep your child away from the internet, first of all. I mean, if you're that concerned, but kids are getting access to the internet at younger ages, and that's important. But the SEC has attempted to block personal broadcasting because they don't want to be able to censor everything. Now they'll tell you it's because they want to protect you. They're saying, oh, we don't want children to hear Metallica or the satanic industrial music that I listen to, or anything like that. They're gonna, but it's not really it's not really true, because the permeation of media at every level. I mean, if you give your kid a phone at 9 years old that doesn't have some parental check in it that you have, that's your own fault. Bottom line, they can get the content anywhere. And by the way, they were getting the content anyway. My parents might think that, oh, I was so protected and everything. But come on, people. If a kid is they're going to try to get the content, they're going to get the content. And there's always that neighbor up the street who's got 70 porn magazines underneath, their thing. Or there's always that one porn magazine that you found randomly, kind of strangely, out in the field someplace, which is really kind of gross and weird. I mean, there's tons of stories like, but this isn't about that. This is about the controlling of, it's about disrupting the control mechanisms that are in place that are going to cause this stuff to happen. And you cannot stop the tide of personal broadcasting, just like they were unable to stop the tide of music piracy. So I mean, everybody, if you might have a story like that, right? It's like one of those, like coming of age stories about your growing up, and you and your buddies are like walking through a field and there's like a random porn magazine in the middle of a field someplace. True story, that actually happened to me. And you're like, oh, what's this? And it's like, this guy, whatever. I don't want to go there. The point is that you can't, these control structures that are in place are the wrong way to go. You do need to have barriers and stuff, and that needs to be, between you and your children and things like that. But I personally believe putting up a ton of barriers between your children and the content out there is actually going to backfire on you, because it's going to create curiosity. They're going to want to go see it and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, it's just something, yeah, there's porn and it's a thing, yeah, there's this and that thing. It doesn't mean that I'm promoting, the devil's agenda here. The main thing I'm trying to tell you is that for them to make you feel like it's a sin, for them to make you feel like it is a sin for you to listen to content created by somebody that you've paid Spotify for, or even that you've pirated. At the time, pirating. So the only thing Spotify did and Spotify and Apple Music, the only thing those things did is they made us feel less guilt for stealing the content. And frankly, we didn't have a way to pay the author, so we rationalized to ourselves, this is the best way for us to promote these authors and these creators to create more content. But it never was a good idea. It was the best thing we had, but it never was a good idea. But now we have something better. Now we have the sharing economy. Now we have people producing content, and it's kind of bad, kind of like 1980s Linux. And it's kind of bad, but it's going to get better. And that content's going to get better, and you need to find those people, and you need to thank them directly. And the percentage that they're going to get from you, other than this tiny little middleman, GitHub takes like less than like 1% for sponsorships, right? It's one of the reasons I prefer that people, promote me or whatever, or follow me through GitHub as opposed to, subs in Twitch or whatever, because they take more money that way and they force you to see ads and all that. My point being that there's a competition among people to support the sharing economy, the financial transactions of the sharing economy. And so you need to figure out what those things are if you want to be ethical, right? And when you listen to music, you need to identify the music, the authors and people that you follow, that you like, professionally or otherwise. And you should seek them out and see if you can get them the money. And that's the best way to promote the future sharing economy, which is going to come around. It doesn't, yeah. Yeah. And so let me give you another, let's go to another one. Okay. So another main problem. So somebody just brought up a reminder about this problem. So, okay. So I not only did I buy the content, but I use copyright free content will still copyright strike you. This is true. This has happened to me. You know why? I got to go back to this. The reason that the copyright content will give you a strike is if you use copyright-free content, music, and you do it on a channel where you monetize your channel, and then you turn on, I don't want anyone else to monetize my channel, which, by the way, is an elite thing that you have to qualify for, because I just wanted to create an automation on YouTube using the API that would turn on monetization from a command line. And I had to go through this rigmarole to qualify to even be able to do that. And you know what they decided? They decided that you have to appeal to YouTube to say that you actually have a copyrighted interest in the stuff that you're producing in order to use the API. So in order to just frickin' toggle monetize on my own content, I had to justify my copyright claim to my own content enough to be significant enough for YouTube to come out of the woodwork and say, oh, yes, please, we'll give you access to the monetization copyright thing. Because then you can also talk to other things which also flag content. They give you a big list of people who are using your content. So let me net this out for you. Okay. So this is let me net this out for you. Uh, uh, yeah, from copyright. Yeah. So let's say you put some nice you're very diligent and you find copyright free music and you put that in your YouTube video, and the YouTube video goes up online, and and all of a sudden you get flagged. You got a copyright strike. Take this down. It's got copyrighted music in it. You're like, no, it doesn't. You appeal it and say, this is copyrighted free music. And they're like, they may or may not agree to it. Now, the really important thing is if you have time sensitive content, which mine is, you still have to go through the fucking 2-week process of getting approved. And you don't even know if that's ever going to happen, because guess what? You're not the one who gets to say, and neither does YouTube. The person who made the copyright automated claim against you is somebody else who's also using copyright free music in their videos, who has monetized their videos and for some reason has the rights to say, please identify all the people that are violating my content and let me know. And so their algorithm is flagging you for using copyright free content because they used copyright free content in their copyrighted content. And the algorithm, and because they have the power and the monetization to do it, the algorithm comes forward and it says, you're bad, strike on you because you're using copyrighted free content. And so you have to click on a button that says, okay, I appeal this. I don't want a copyright strike. Please, please, please. And if you look at the algorithm, there's a lot of YouTube content providers, they just roll their eyes now, and I fully understand it finally. I fully understand it. And I know this is a long one, but I don't care. I just have to get it out of my system. So what happens now is you've got content that has been blocked, that you have done everything in your power to make right. You have this nice, pretty music in the background, and boom, your content is blocked or it's demonetized or whatever. And you're exhausted as a content creator because you don't have a whole team, because again, as a part of the sharing economy, you're a one-person show and you do everything yourself. So now I have to go through all the extra effort. So what do I just do? People like me who are a part of the sharing economy, who are producing as content as easily as we can because of the zero opportunity cost. That's why we do it, because it's so easy to make content. Because of all of that, now it's not zero opportunity cost anymore. Now all of a sudden I have to spend like a week worrying whether this video is ever going to make it. And by the way, that video that I just produced, because I put music behind it, is like day 5 of and day 6 is coming up. And in 2 weeks, the people that wanted my timely lessons and content are not going to be able to get any of it because I have to go through this process. And by the way, if it doesn't work, I have to remake the whole fucking video. So, it's a total clusterfuck. The whole thing is a massive clusterfuck. Because of one thing, because the ultra rich want to get richer. They don't give a shit about the content creators, and even the systems that have been put in place don't work, because they're flagging, because so-and-so over here says he wants to create DCMA-able content, even though he's using copyright-free content. And so nobody else can ever use that content because his content that had the copyright-free stuff in it is copyrighted. And there's no way for the dumbass algorithm to make a distinction between the two. This is why Metallica gets dubbed over with Disney Hannah Montana. Because people are so tired, including Disney, for God's sakes. I think it was the company, whatever the company was that did that. They are so fucking, the people who understand this, which is usually content creators, YouTubers, and people like me who are just getting into it, we finally understand it. They know that it's better to not even fucking deal with it. So the whole thing completely destroys the industry. Now you have Internet Today muting everything and not playing anything because they're so terrified of like a strike or a demonetization. Or you hear a Sushi Dragon on Twitch going, "Oh my God, please don't mute my VODs. I hate it when my VODs get muted." All right, so that brings us to Twitch, and this is where it gets really interesting. Okay, so we're talking about the philosophy behind it, the ethics behind it, but I also want to talk about like the practical science of it all, and what you can do about it. So so somebody sent me this web page from Twitch, and we're going to read it together. So, and I want you to make some conclusions on your own, but I'm going to tell you what my conclusions are. A friend of yours is a DJ and a keyboard player, and he got copyright stricken for streaming his own music. Happens all the time. It's like, you can't even create music. It's like, yeah, there's lots of good videos. We're going to put all this great stuff into the thing. So do you see who produced this? This is on the Twitch help page. All right. Twitch owned by Amazon, controlled by the powers that be, the biggest broadcast content streamer, personal broadcasting platform on the planet right now. YouTube, I think Twitch is bigger than YouTube in terms of personal broadcasting because, let's be real. YouTube's live streaming sucks. It's horrible. It has a horrible chat interface. It'll never go anywhere. You can't flip the channel between back and YouTube does not understand personal broadcasting at all. Twitch's categories and its ability and its sort of policing of the categories and making sure you don't have, just do an experiment for me. Try to browse randomly on YouTube for people doing content, doing live content about educational and coding. Just try it. You won't find anything. You like search for live and stuff. You can't find it. YouTube has no discovery mechanism for live streamers. It just lumps it all together with all their other shitty algorithm for searching for videos, and it doesn't work. Meanwhile, on Twitch on your phone, you're getting recommendations for videos that are good. You're like, oh, hey, yeah, okay, you like this particular person. It's got an AI probably driven thing in it, and you're like, oh God, I'm so glad I found that streamer. You're like browsing randomly through ASMR, and then you're browsing through, just chatting in your science and tech. You're like all over the place. You're flipping the channels through the television, and you can only do that on Twitch, by the way. The other platforms are not nearly as good as that. Yeah, and why YouTube is really 2005. Yeah, so Google had a chance to buy Twitch. Oh my God, thank God they didn't. So I have a lot of complaints with Twitch all the time, and I still think they have a lot of growing space to go. But the one thing about Twitch that I'm going to conclude from this page that we're looking at is that Twitch has opinions on this. And their opinions are not the same opinions as Google and YouTube. And let's figure out what they are. Having to use a VPN to watch movies. Oh my God, that's a totally different one. We'll talk about that in a bit. So soundtrack audio configuration help for streaming services. So what this is a Windows only plugin for OBS that you can install that creates an extra channel for you that uses it's proprietary and closed, and it effectively takes out the music from your stream. And I don't know if it actually does it to the audio content by stripping it or not. I think it probably does, or if it's doing something different with the channels that are in your system, something like that. I don't know, and we will never know because it's closed. You can't even open the thing. It's not open source. But here's the effect. So the effect is that I haven't got this set up because I have Linux, and I want to talk about that too in a bit. You put this DLL in your plugins directory, and you get this extra source, and then you set it up so that all of your desktop audio and everything comes through the stream, and you can hear it, and all of that stuff is, I assume, your people listening can hear it as well, watching at the time, but the music doesn't go to Twitch. It doesn't go into your VODs anyway. Now, what I don't know at this point is whether that content, that music content, is still broadcasted or not. If the music content is still broadcasted, that doesn't go into the VOD, but does go into your live broadcasting, case situation. So this is how I imagine it works. And if somebody knows how it works, I would love for you to let me know in the comments. I don't, because I can't test it because I have Linux. But I think that this is what it does. And if it does this is going to make my case about Twitch's position on the ethics of streaming copyrighted music. So, so ultimately what I think it does is it will produce a VOD. The VODs are the things that get saved, video on demand. Those are the things that get saved in Twitch, and they get kept around forever, right? And they're great. But VODs are also the reason that the DCMA takedown notices get sent to Twitch. All right. So the way this goes down, and I've read about some people that have had this happen to them, they'll use copyrighted music, even a small portion of it, and they will save it in their VOD. And Twitch will catch it. Twitch has an algorithm to catch it, and it will mute the VOD, but it will let it stay. And it automatically mutes only the section that it thinks has music in it. It's pretty dumb about doing it, so you got to be careful because it actually does me. And by the way, if it catches your music and you got music underneath your, your coding or something, it just destroys the whole video. You might as well just not even do VODs, which is my current position. My current position is I don't do VODs at all. I don't do like right now. You don't hear any music, right? Because I turned it off. So whenever I do a video, however long that is, I turn any possible thing, including YouTube a lot of times. I won't even show a segment of YouTube because it could give me good. Now, so Twitch, by the way, doesn't care about YouTube videos the way YouTube does. If you're gonna put a YouTube video in the background and then push that video as a VOD up to YouTube, YouTube will block it because it will see that it's somebody else's YouTube video. But Twitch doesn't care. Twitch doesn't care. Twitch will just mute you. Twitch will just mute you. Will just mute the segments of copyright music. That's all they do. Twitch could give a shit about visual content. Now, that being said, one of my good friends, I believe, I don't have any evidence of this. I know at least one time in the past he was banned for streaming a movie on Twitch, which is, that's a tough one. The movie thing is a much bigger issue that this whole music sharing economy issue is going to need to get worked out first. And then when that gets worked out, we're going to start to see the sharing economy hit movies and broadcast. And it hasn't happened yet. And that's a much bigger deal because a professional movie production takes millions and billions of dollars. And that's a huge investment. So there's a lot more money going on there. And the chances of you getting quality movie production without a big financier is almost zero. So the entire movie industry is going to be a different one to see if it ever comes into the sharing economy. Because why? Because I actually think that a lot of people are going to forego. Let's put it this way: the bar is coming down on the sharing economy. When Colin Kaepernick can produce his own movie, his own series about the things he cares about, and then put that into Netflix and get it put in there right away. The sharing economy from broadcasting and Netflix and places like it is bringing the bar down. So that is getting us closer to a sharing economy where somebody like Colin could just make his own movie and put it out there and receive remuneration directly from people. That will happen. It's probably only going to be like 10, 20 years away though, because that's a big deal. There's a lot of money involved. Meanwhile, the music industry is already going through the sharing economy revolution in mass scale. So it's already gone through it with the whole pirating thing, and it's going to go through it more. And a part of this is the whole personal broadcasting thing and the positions that Twitch is now showing us. So if you create copyrighted content with Twitch, this application will send up a special, audio stream to go with your video, and it doesn't have the music in it. I don't know how it removes the music, but it just doesn't have the music in it. And so it doesn't send any music, which I think could be problematic because what if I want the music in it because it's copyrighted free, it just turns it all off, right? So I have to go in there and toggle the button, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so if that's true, but the people watching my live stream in real time are still able to hear the music, then that very clear. And I don't know that that's true. I'm almost positive it is. But if that is true, that is Twitch saying, what does the music add to the video? Well, we'll talk about that. That's an editorial taste question. I think that's a completely separate topic. We'll make a video about. People have strong opinions on whether they want music behind the videos or not. And I'm the same with YouTube. If somebody has a really horrible backing track in YouTube, I can't watch the video. So just make a video with no music and let them bring their own music. But there are performance. I mean, I like to DJ and jump around with music and mix it up and stuff like that. So, and I like to switch out the music behind me. And I mean, sometimes you're going to have a live sort of party atmosphere. You want that music in there. So, but I feel like Twitch is actually saying, we don't care if you use copyrighted music. Effectively, they're not saying this openly. Let me be very clear. Twitch is not openly saying, at least openly, not openly saying, yeah, we don't care about copyrighted music. You can live stream that all you want. Just don't let it hit your VODs. That's what it sounds like to me. I also think there's a reason that clips are only 30 seconds long. I don't know this for sure, but I believe, I think that Twitch is effectively, and this is super important, I'm going to get in trouble, effectively saying, just don't let it save anywhere. All right. They're Twitch legally is people are coming, the companies. I have a feeling that the people that run Twitch, I just don't think, I can't say, I don't know this for sure. I have a feeling that the people that run Twitch are streamers and they like the music and they like being able to have a party, a dance party and all that stuff. And they really don't give a shit about using copyrighted music for you to have your own dance party effectively. I mean, what is the difference between playing music at a house party and Twitch? I mean, seriously, my stream right now, I have, very few people in it, right? I think the biggest difference is because you could potentially have thousands of people in your house party. But the whole idea of personal broadcasting is this intimate idea. Everybody's with you. So, I mean, seriously, okay, when you play music to your family in your house, are you violating the law? I mean, let's do this, okay? Let's do this. When you're playing music with your family in the house and you put a speaker in your house and it goes through your whole house and all 10 people or however many, grandma and cousins, everybody at Christmas are all listening to Christmas music, are you breaking the law? Are you breaking the law at Christmas? Are you breaking the broadcast law at Christmas? I mean, if you could be, strictly speaking, you could be prosecuted for playing whatever copyrighted music is there. I mean, let's take a more modern one. You play like a Mariah Carey Christmas song, or what's that other one? Love Actually. You play the Love Actually soundtrack at your family gathering. Are you breaking the law? According to the law, you are. According to the law, that is a fucking definition of broadcast. You are broadcasting it because you're playing it for a large group. So what's a large group? What's the legal precedent here? So the problem is that Twitch, let's be real. Twitch is a large group that just got larger. So, if Mariah Carey music is played before Thanksgiving, it's illegal. Play Jingle Bells and go to jail. Yeah. Seriously. Okay. Where's the line? You play it for your family. It's not illegal. Of course it's not illegal. It's a jolly old time, right? Frank Sinatra doesn't care about, royalties. Never did. He got all that mob money coming in. But, so you see my point? At what point is it broadcast? And this is where Twitch gets in big trouble really fast. They don't know how to handle this. And Twitch, I have a feeling, I have no way of knowing this, but I have a feeling that the people that support Twitch and created Twitch, the people who created Twitch itself, are very solidly in the camp of keeping things intimate. The thing that makes ASMR streamers and science and tech people both so effective is the intimacy of Twitch. That's what it does. It's the intimacy of personal broadcasting. 1-2 people broadcasting at the same time, but fundamentally, you usually have one personality around it. And so, you get this idea coming in. Let's see. I think the monetization part you missed in the family scenario. Maybe if you charge them to listen to it on your account. No, I'm not doing that. But yeah. So it's obviously, but let's do something else. Let's say I take Sean Johnson's music and it gets really popular, or Metallica for that matter, doesn't matter. And I become a DJ and I rent out an auditorium with 10,000 people and I play the Metallica music barely mixed. And now we have this massive rave and we're playing or whatever you want to do. I'm mixing my metaphors. We're all dancing around to this music and there's 10,000 people doing it and we all paid entry to go in there. Is that a violation of Obviously, that's a very clear, this is definitely a broadcast kind of situation. But you have all of the levels in between there that are undefined. And one of those areas is Twitch. Twitch doesn't necessarily, sometimes it fits the 3,000 people at the same time. Sometimes it's just, me and a bunch of friends talking about this stuff, right? Or just coding. We're just coding in the background. And people are just, they're just voyeuring my shitty coding ability while I do it. And I happen to be listening to music and they're listening to the same music as me. And they're like, hey, what's that music? Because they're in the cubicle next to me. This is the thing that makes Twitch so successful. The thing that makes Twitch so successful is the personal, intimate idea. When you are coding and you're co-working next to me, you are like imagining yourself being right next to me. And if you're getting your ear sucked on while listening to Willie Nelson or whatever, I've never heard that, but you're associating with the person who's in the room with you. Um, so you know what I'm saying? Uh, and or yeah, there's a million different ways of looking at this. There's a large streamer and only streams copyright music every stream. That's all they do with 1,000 viewers, but they never save the VODs. Right. DJing public dances and you sell tickets for it. Yeah, that's one of them areas. That's like a pretty solidly, you're kind of encroaching on everybody's territory there, right? But eventually I think DJing in a public area like that is going to be totally fine. This is one of those things where the Creative Commons laws are going to fall flat on their face, because you're going to have people taking advantage of they do with me all the time. I make free software and then they come on. Apple made $1 trillion off open source software and didn't tell anybody it was open source. BSD, look under the hood. They did it. There will be companies with no fucking ethics that will take advantage to the maximum effect of all of that stuff. They will do it. But so this leaves us with the dilemma of Twitch and how to fix this. And I want to wrap this video up. I know it's going long, but I think this is a really important thing to talk about. The reason that we have to think of it this way is because there needs to be new laws created. GPL2 was toast after TiVo. Yeah. I know. Well, GPL2 should come back. I think GPL3 is disastrously bad, but we won't talk about that. So the point I'm trying to make is that Twitch is disrupting, and personal broadcasting and Twitch is disrupting fair use. It's disrupting what this whole stuff is all about. Our laws on the books today they can't move fast. It's just like all of our publications, all of our material to try to learn how to program and go. It can't keep up. Technology is advancing so fast that the legal apparatus can't keep up with the new things here. And that leaves us in a precarious situation, because not just us, but companies like Twitch and Amazon have to make decisions about, well, what are we going to deem as appropriate or ethical for society? Where is the line? We're going to have to remake the line because it ain't been made yet. When what's her face ASMR streamer has got 4,000 people listening to music while they're sucking on her ears, or she's sucking on their ears, we'll say ears, is that a violation? I absolutely think, getting into this, I kind of think that the definition of broadcast is going to have to be raised, and people are going to have to say by number. They're going to have to say on Twitch, if you reach a certain number of people that are listening to your music at the same time, that is a violation. So somebody who regularly has more than, kind of like a fire code for copyrighted material. It's like, if you reach a certain number, then this is no longer an intimate setting with you and your family, and that happen to be on a stream together on Twitch, and no one else gives a crap about you but those people. So the laws have to change here, but I think it's good to know that I think Twitch is on our side in this one. Twitch has done many things to help us here. They've actively promoted non-copyrighted material on Twitch, which, by the way, if you make a VOD, that's great. But if you put that VOD on YouTube, you'll get DCMA'd or you'll get taken down for it, even if it's copyright-free material. So keep that in mind. Twitch is way ahead of YouTube on this. And it kind of sucks, because you can use, that automatic thing. Twitch has now got a thing where if you use their video, audio and stuff, you can use their stuff. But then but the whole point of it is saving a VOD is so that you have persistence, and YouTube is the king of persistence. YouTube is the king of persistent searchable video. Twitch hasn't got nothing on that. They're never going to be able to catch up with that. That's like a huge monstrous thing that it's in Google's core bailiwick. It ain't going away. Right. So you take that VOD and you want to get your videos out there and you want them to have reach, and you just put this free music on there using Twitch, and you clicked on the Twitch button and everything, and it's all great. And you're never going to have your Twitch VODs muted or anything. And you can turn them into highlights so they stay around forever. And everybody comes to get your content on Twitch until you actually want to distribute your content. The Alphabet claims they own everything you create, period. And you're just having a license to it. Right. Yeah. And so, I don't think they claim to own it. I think they claim to have a perpetual license to it, which is different. I believe that's what it is. I don't think they actually claim to own it. I do think it's a perpetual license. when you put it up. It's the same thing that they do with your email and other stuff like that. So the point is that because you're a content creator, you want to put your stuff on YouTube. Obviously, anything worth saving as a VOD, I would argue almost anything that's worth saving. I mean, that's gray, right? People who leave, I mean, if I were to do VODs, you'd get like an 8-hour VOD of ASCII fish with music in the background, and I don't ever want to push that to YouTube. Why would I? It's going to, not only going to waste resources from the world, but I don't mind streaming it. That's not as big a waste. But why would I do that? I'm going to take up all that storage just for the fish and stuff, to sort of people who can have random things. I would rather people clip me. Another thing too, the clip things are 30 seconds. Why? Because you can have a 30-second clip of music, and at least I thought I had a 15-second clip and I got flagged on it. So maybe not, but so the VODs, most of the time I don't want VODs to go automatically to to YouTube. Right, I don't want them to push you. You can actually set it up to do that. You can go in there and push your VODs to YouTube. But most of the time, this is actually the way I do it. In this particular video, I am streaming to Twitch, but I clicked on the start recording button so that I have a high-res copy locally of my content that nobody else owns. And then I take that video and I publish that video to YouTube. In this case, it doesn't have any backing music or anything. And I know because I have to turn the music on every time I'm going to make a video. The maximum length is 60 seconds. Okay, so I did not. But what I'm getting at is that even though Twitch has addressed this issue and attempts to address it, and they're on our sides, YouTube isn't. And even if YouTube was on our side, they can't undo what they've already done. They can't undo it. It's already clusterfuck. They can't fix it. You can put copyright-free music on YouTube, and no matter what, you're going to get strikes and blocks because somebody else who also uses that content has decided their content is copyrighted. The only solution to this is for everybody to remove the content, the idea of copyright from the whole thing, and that's not happening. But we have a better hope in having Twitch do this. The reason I'm going through this is because one of the great things about Twitch is that if you save a VOD, you can actually, this is something I didn't realize until I started watching Twitch on mobile, which is, relatively recent discovery for me because I have a smartphone finally again. I went without a smartphone for 2 years because of the privacy thing, and then I became a live streamer and stream picking my dog poops up. And so privacy is not an issue anymore by choice, thank God. I mean, it's up to me to choose. The point I'm making is that when you click on Twitch, you can get to a video and you can have watched somebody's live stream, and you can decide, well, I'm done watching, or I'm tired, I have to go, I have work or something. And this is absolutely amazing that Twitch does this. I cannot overstate how cool I think this is on Twitch's part. But Twitch has an entire section on my phone that does not exist in the main webpage as far as I know. At least I've never seen it. But when I started watching a streamer during the middle of the day at my lunch break, and I'm like, oh my God, I want to watch the rest of what they said there, right? And the way Twitch does it is you click on, you go to your thing and say, continue watching. And when you click on continue watching, it takes you to the exact position in the VOD on Twitch so you can watch it as if you never left. In fact, now that I understand this, I actually understand a lot of the comments that were coming to me from people like, oh my God, I was just talking to my screen because I thought I was real. They're because they're in Twitch or YouTube, and I'm talking like this interactively, and they forgot that it's not live. I cannot overstate how valuable that is and how much I personally underappreciated it until today. Because what that does is that allows people to partake in your personal broadcasting experience at their leisure, in their way, and to still see the commentary that's happening at the time. That is so valuable. I don't have words. I don't have words for how valuable that is, because that maintains all the community participation in the VOD. You see what I mean? So you can still feel like you're there. You can still be there for all the inside jokes. You can see the emotes and the stuff if that's your thing. You can do all of that. That's a Twitch unique thing that only happens if you activate VODs. So now the only thing stopping a guy like me from activating my VODs on Twitch is because I regularly listen to music and the music gets muted, and then people can't listen to the thing. They can't listen to it. So this particular solution is the one that I'm looking at, and I have a couple conclusions here. So the first one I'm going to say is I believe that Twitch as a company doesn't care. They will never say so because it's illegal. But I believe that Twitch actually does not care about music in your stream, copyright or otherwise. I don't think they actually care. And I think there are enough solid partner examples that are doing DJs, and there's all kinds of stuff where you can see people that would otherwise be taken off of Twitch permanently that are still there. And we had some people mention it in the chat that scrolled by. We had some people mention in the chat that they know of a lot of people who stream the music, but they make sure they're not save their VODs, because the VODs are the things that are going to trip up the DCMA and all that. And what happens is the DCMA videos get picked up by algorithms and bots outside of Twitch, and then Twitch gets in hot water with the DCMA people. And then when Twitch gets, and this is also how trolls will get you, because if somebody uses the N-word on your stream, whether it's you or somebody else, it'll get flagged. There are German laws. It doesn't matter how it made it into your video. They'll take you down, period. Doesn't matter. They don't review the video. Is the word in the video? Yes or no? If it is, you're done. And they receive a cease and desist, or they receive a legal action. I know, because I got them, because I got trolled in Dota 2, and they were using the N-word, and they got me to use the N-word in response to them. It wasn't using it in any derogatory way or in any way. I just repeated the word. And I got an email saying that Twitch had escalated my appeal with the German government, and that I was okay. Thank God. So, and the fact that I got submitted for all of this stuff, the trolls that do this shit, they know these laws better than we do. And they're just using the laws against us. They're having a heyday. The trolls are having a heyday because they're running around like prodding people to do this and that and causing all kinds of havoc because the laws are so fucked up and they know it. And so they're just messing with the law. So where does this go? I mean, like, we're on an hour long on this video already. So where do we even go with this? I think that as we head into Christmas, we're thinking next time you're at your family gathering, am I breaking the law right now? I mean, that's not so much the reason to do this. One, I think I'm going to conclude Twitch is on our side. I believe 100% at this point, and I complain about Twitch all the time, but I honestly, truly believe Twitch deep down is on the side of the streamer. And that, yes, they have preferences for a particular type of streamer. Yes, they don't give any concessions to people doing education. It's like, the ear lickers get the same priority as the people doing education in their free time. It doesn't matter. They're kind of democratic in the sense of like their ability to not give a shit about anything. They don't give preferential treatment to any. They have a few boundaries. Like they will not stream Second Life, for example, because it's just too risky in the whole nipple thing. But at the end of the day, I'm just going to say it. At the end of the day, Twitch is on our side more than any other company on planet Earth right now, because their bottom line depends on the success of intimate personal broadcasting, whether that be Stephen Wolfram talking personally about how to become an entrepreneur with his 200 people in the room together. That, in that sense, the guy who invented MATLAB and everything else, that's pretty fucking intimate. To be able to get a seat listening to this guy randomly talk about whatever he wants to is pretty fucking intimate, and it's pretty amazing if you think about it. Because you're now a participant. If he puts music behind the track, Twitch has got his back unless he makes a VOD with it, right? And he would never put music behind there because he doesn't think it's valuable. So I think Twitch has got our back here, and the fact that they're creating technologies to filter out the music while still allowing us to live stream the music, which is what I think is going on, I think we're good. In fact, in order for a DCMA takedown bot to get to us, the way it has gotten to YouTube. If you're playing even a 30-second interval of copyrighted music, I know this NPC in particular, if you play any SNL skit, I don't care where the source is, if you play an SNL skit anywhere on YouTube, they will stop your live stream in the middle. They will stop it. They will say copyrighted material has been detected in real time. You're being blocked. Your stream is now blocked. And then when you stop doing it, it may or may not bring your live stream back. Twitch so far doesn't have that, and I don't think they will. The only reason I think that they would ever do that is if they receive legal pressure to put that there, because they don't have it. They don't have it. So you can actually play Now there's boundaries. There's actually people. I think they depend on the community to police itself, because I do know for a fact, Dennis comes to mind, that some people have been banned from Twitch, or banned at least temporarily from Twitch, because they're playing movies, like full blown movies. And then you go in just chatting, and like the other day, I was like, there's like 5 people watching movies there. They're having watch parties, which is totally illegal. I mean, and then you got Amazon trying to monetize on the watch party, saying, yeah, you can do that as long as you buy it from us. You make money from us. Yeah, everybody can be in your watch party. I don't think that's going to hold. It does. It's kind of a step in the right direction, but so Twitch is on your side. I think that's fine. They're still going to mute your video, but they're giving us ways. At least the help people are trying to provide us ways for not having music in our VODs. Now, if it turns out, and I'm kind of hoping I don't discover this, but if it turns out that the VODs don't have video in them don't have music in it, because the music gets blocked permanently from the stream, and it's just you can hear the music but nobody else can. If that turns out to be the case with this edition, in which I can't test until I have a Windows machine, then I'm going to be less inclined to make that conclusion, because now they're just creating a way for you to not have music in anything that makes it to Twitch. And there's all kinds of additional ways to do that, right? I mean, I've got a version of that right now. This is my best way to do this, by the way. I'll show you right now. So if I can get it. So, now that'll kill my mic right now. I have a splitter that goes into my computer, and it also goes to my ears. And so what I can do is I can listen to my phone. I listen to Spotify on my phone, and I play it directly into my headphones, and it never touches any of the stuff that goes into the video. People record the audio separately and publish it to YouTube. Yeah, that's another way of doing it. There's a ton of ways of doing this, right? I think that's probably the best way. Let's write that one down too. So I need to explore saving only microphone to disk and adding to video for YouTube. All right. So, I mean, that's a really cool and all, but that doesn't unmute your VOD, right? It doesn't unmute your VOD. So I wonder if there could have a copyright-free music playing while listening to the music you like as a streamer. That's a separate topic, and I mean, we've already taken a lot of time here. I do want to do a separate video on what people think, and I'll probably do that video immediately after this. I'm going to take a break, and we're going to go on to that. So the conclusions of this video is, look, I'm just sick and tired of the music issues with YouTube and Twitch. I've gone back and forth between having music in my videos or not. I found that if I can't listen to music and randomly fade in and out and play DJ while I'm on Twitch, that I enjoy Twitch much less. I think it's a lot more fun. I like using the fade in and fade out. I like all the DJing elements of Twitch for certain styles of streams that I do, including some of the ones where I'm coding or something. And the party type streams where people are picking music and we're all sharing it, temporarily, and we're watching it all together. I really enjoy those streams. They're some of my most favorite streams. So I don't want those to go anywhere, and I'm going to continue to do that. However, those videos will never be able to be VODed, and so I won't be able to put automatic VODs on. I think what's probably going to happen is I'm going to start making smaller streams, and then turning VODs on, and then deciding which ones have the VODs turned off, right? But I mean, something like, my clip, in my walk-in clip, right? I have a walk-in clip. Okay, so that was probably all I can show of that. My walk-in clip is probably long enough to get me muted because it's got, Fat Boy on it. So yeah, it took his money. Yeah. So, and I'm okay with them selling stuff too, as long as they get to the people who made it. So there's lots of possibilities here. Twitch is on our side. I don't know what to do with the VODs. I still don't have a solution for this. If you want to propose your solution, let me know. The major solutions here are: one, don't do VODs with music. Somebody's already suggested, why do you even need music behind your content, period? And that's coming from somebody. Look, if you're just focused on education and podcasting like I am, or you're doing like Sunday school with Penn Jillette, they don't need music. I mean, the entertainment value of that is this sort of Joe Rogan experience where it's just voices, right? And it's the speaking and stuff. But that's a certain style of entertainment. And by the way, it's not even the most popular. Not everybody wants to just listen to a dry podcast where people are just talking, or they're back. Sometimes people want the DJ'd element of it, the live editing, the Sushi Dragon is does so fucking well. I mean, it's just so amazing. But he has to struggle constantly with copyright issues and mutes, because he's taking samples from this and this, and he's doing this live editing, and it's really amazing. If you haven't watched Sushi Dragon, I strongly encourage you to just go watch him, just to understand the artistry of the personal broadcasting world, where it's going. I mean, and his stuff is all live. Well, imagine having your concert muted, and not having anything to go back to. He certainly can't push anything he does on YouTube, but he can do it to Twitch, and he's rewarded for his live editing and dubbing and things that other people do without problems. Fatboy Slim is a perfect example of somebody who dubbed the shit out of everything and took complete credit for it. And there was no DCMA takedown at all, because, so I don't know fully what the solution is. That I do want to activate VODs, because, as I said, Twitch, it's so effective to be able to just pick up where somebody left off and click on the VOD and know what they were talking about. And the problem with this is that, so this answers the question, why do you need a VOD if you have a YouTube video of it? Right. And I'm going to say, I'm going to put it here. Twitch VODs are better than pushing to YouTube. VODs still, how put this, still have value, even if pushed to YouTube. And this was a relatively recent discovery. The point I'm going to make here, and then I'll end. I've spoken way too long tonight about all of this stuff, but I don't want to have to talk about this again. This is just like the one video where I'm talking about all of it, and then we're going to just move on. So Twitch VODs, as I said, if somebody can't watch, the whole reason they're watching you on Twitch is because they want this intimate personal experience you're doing and learning. You may not even know that you're going to start talking about a particular topic, and you might not have a setup. You certainly don't have a setup like mine. I've custom built mine to be able to do Zettelcast and click stop recording and publish to YouTube like that, right? Maybe you don't have that. Maybe you just want to start a new stream that doesn't have music on it and save all the VODs and then have the VODs automatically pushed to YouTube. That's a pretty common thing that people would want to do. Right. I used to do that, actually. That's a very realistic approach for somebody who doesn't have what I have set up here. So, and in addition to that, as I said, if somebody can only watch 5 minutes of your live stream and they want to come back and they don't want to be left off, Twitch takes care of that for you by saying, hey, do you want to watch the rest of this video you started? It was a live stream before, now it's a video. So you click on it and it pops you back in and you're like right where you were. That is tremendously valuable to a content consumer. And I know that now because I'm using Twitch a lot more than I used to. Before I was like, why can't you just go to YouTube? YouTube is a pain in the ass. At that point, I was on Twitch when I was watching so-and-so viewer that I don't even remember their name. They may or may not have a YouTube video. And I just want to see the rest of whatever they were talking about, but I had to leave because I had a meeting. Twitch is the master of this. Twitch is the master of this. You pull it up and you go, oh yeah, that's the person I was watching. You click on their thing and now you're picking up right exactly where you left off, including all of the chat. It's like you never left. So your FOMA is satisfied. You can go through Twitch constantly and you never ever have to be afraid of FOMA as long as people save their VODs. If they don't save their VODs, like me, you become an asshole. And now I understand why people are so mad at me for not saving VODs. I had some people downright revolt and leave me as followers, and they don't come back because they were so into the VODs. They wanted to be able to go back to the VOD at that moment in time and pick it up. And I didn't understand because I didn't use Twitch as a consumer. I was using Twitch as a method of production. I'm like, I got a YouTube video, go watch it. And they're like, no, I don't want to do that. I want to pick up where we left off. Plus I want to see all the chat. That's a pretty reasonable thing to want in the moment, like right now. The comments that have already come in tonight, which are not on my screen, and this is the thing, is I will never put comments on my screen for any video that's going to YouTube. I never will do it. I've already learned the hard way that that's too risky. It's like way, way, way too risky, particularly to get more unpopular. So if you're going to do that, then you've just lost all participation for it. So when I'm sitting here referring to people on Twitch all day, every day, right? People that are making fantastic comments that are not saved with my YouTube video. So why even make the YouTube video? I'm going to make the YouTube video so that it points to the VOD on Twitch. And actually, after today, I'm going to make the YouTube video contain a link directly to the video VOD on Twitch from now on. I've decided. So my YouTube videos will directly link, the comments are a huge part of the interaction. Yeah. If you answer a question and the question isn't asked, yeah. YouTube videos are, I will be, let's put it that way. I will link, YouTube videos, to Twitch VODs, VODs. Why? So, it's just YouTube, Twitch, VODs, pick up where left off and have, comments and have chat stored. Now, YouTube is trying to do that, but it doesn't work. So YouTube is trying to tell you that you need to live stream to YouTube because all the comments will be saved with YouTube. And then their filter system on their chat system is absolutely terrible. There's no way I'll ever do that. So even though it makes more sense to put educational content and videos on YouTube, my biggest problem with YouTube right now, and it's a different video to talk about this, is I don't have time to go through all the comments. Most YouTubers, they start out trying to read the comments and everything, and then it blows up and they got trolls and they can't separate the trolls from other people. Comments inside of your YouTube video streams are a horrible idea. Occasionally one will get upvoted or something like that. But, and I feel bad because Dennis, one of the people I most respect in the world, wrote me a big comment, and it wasn't until I was on his stream that he said, "Hey, you didn't answer my comment on the YouTube video." And I was like, "I didn't know you made a comment." Because I can't, as a content creator, I can't go through all the comments. I can't even answer all this chat. I try my hardest to stay engaged. And I have a small audience right now, so I tend to be able to do this. But eventually, this is all going to change. Eventually, we're not going to be able to do that. So I think that this means that I'm going to be doubling down on Twitch VODs, and the way that I'm going to do that is, this is already kind of organically coming together. I'm either going to make a dedicated channel, audio track without the plugin. What you can use alternative VOD audio track without that plugin. Read third line. It works on Linux. You found something? Oh, this is very nice. Let me open that link. Thank you. This is why we do this live like this. New feature, additional virtual cam on macOS. I'm going to definitely try it. Added the ability to separate an audio track for the VOD when using Twitch. The question I have, okay, so this is a question. It sounds like you might know. Thank you so much for posting that, Vuju. You probably had to wait 10 minutes for it. I got trolled so bad, people. You have to understand, I got trolled really bad. Maybe I'll change my requirements for not be 10 minutes anymore. Because I know how bad this is to join my stream. Thank you so much for waiting for that. So I have one question for you. There's my other 10-minute person. You have single quotes around civil disobedience. The OCD person in the audience is just like me. So I have a question. I have one question. I'll go ahead and experiment with this later. You can come back and check it out. Let's put that under the related section. So there's a couple of related pages here. So copy link address, paste. So this is the OBS project. It has its own thing. And there's of course the original one I've been citing here, this particular Twitch page. I'm going to put this in the related section. So you can go, this is in the show notes. This will land on YouTube. But the next thing that's going to change in my little automated thing, is going to be, is going to be some method of linking to the Twitch VOD. And I'm going to make, basically what this means, the Twitch VOD is going to become the primary way to experience the content. And I'm not, I mean, I learned after the fact that if you watch it, you have to still go through the ads and shit to watch the VOD. So Twitch makes more money, and and I make more money. It's not much, but I mean, I only got like 52 subscribers because I make my money in other ways. People, I make, I have a full-time job, plus people support me on GitHub. They're very generous. People support me on GitHub. That's the primary way of supporting me, by the way, because you get credit as well. And things like that. There's other ways in the sharing economy to pay. It's up to you to decide what you want to do. I'm not gonna go there and tell you what to do. But I did want to say that the new strategy is that I am going to go to VODs, and this actually coincides with the new IRL streaming that I've been doing. So today I experimented with streaming from my MacBook Pro. I stream from my phone using, I stream from my GoPro, which is not the same as your phone as you think it was. It's not. I stream from, I'm going to have a Windows machine for gaming and also for streaming Windows content. Like, this is how you put Linux on Windows. I'll be running streams on Windows. So the way things are going, the way I'm rebuilding my lab, I'm going to have streams coming from all over the place. And I'm not going to be centralizing all of them into a central, did I write the wrong thing? Thank you guys. You guys are so smart. Is it DMCA? It's DMCA, right? I always say DCMA. I'm dyslexic, I guess. So that's what I'm going to do. You're going to see content coming from me all over the place. Is there going to be, so this is a big question for later. Is there going to be a constant channel that has nothing but fish and copyrighted music? There will be, but I will have to delete those VODs before I get flagged. And that's going to cause me an extra amount of work. It is DCMA? It's DMCA. Okay, thank you. I don't know which one it is. I don't know. I'm just a dummy. So yeah, I wish I had the VOD from 6 months ago, because then it was like, I'm done with Twitch. Just stream YouTube. Yeah, Jalopy. And I was wrong. I'm going to tell you right now. And you were probably right, and I was wrong. So yeah, if anybody look, I have told everybody that I am a work in progress. I am constantly learning new things. Strong opinions, weekly hell, WEEKLY. I change my mind. If you're going to give me shit about going to Twitch really hard, hot and heavy, having left YouTube in the dust now, having just done the exact opposite of that. And before that, by the way, producing content, my ultimate goal was to stream without any producer at all. And I think Jalopy would probably support that if I did it. He's just, giving me shit again, as usual. Here's a page that describes how to do non-PC platforms. Nice. Thank you. Everyone's working for it. So what I'm trying to say is, I have come a long way, in my opinion, of Twitch. Twitch is still a company out to make money that's owned ultimately by Amazon, but I feel like I have our interests at heart better than YouTube. I do. And even though I think YouTube is a better platform for producing educational content, because you can make really nice chapters, your stuff is going to be discoverable better. This is the reason everybody learns on YouTube. Most of the people who come to me find me from YouTube. They find me on YouTube, and then they come over here on Twitch, and they come join our community. So the two are still needed. I think that for live content, it's going to be linking. I'm at least going to link to the VOD, and I'm going to start producing the VOD. There's really, before I was like, well, why would I do that? Right. And there's going to be a little bit of overlap here, though, because this is how it's going to go down. Okay. If I don't know how to say this, in order for me to make, you found that you can on Twitch, you can check your channel on YouTube. You found me on Twitch and then check the channel on YouTube. Nice. That's nice to know. I like hearing about the reverse of that. From a raid from Christitis. Oh yeah. And I don't think I've seen any of your YouTube. It's nice. Okay. I've been finding that YouTube is terrible for live streaming, especially for moderation and chat. Absolutely. I had to stop chat completely from YouTube because it's so bad. It was being totally trolled. And I tried the IRC thing, which also gets trolled unless you have really, really tight, and so does Discord. Until you have, yeah. And until you know about how things are, you have an uneducated opinion. Yeah. Once you cut through it, then you can kind of figure out what you need to focus on. And that's what I'm doing. That's what I've been doing. I've just been doing it very, very fucking publicly. And it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing when I go through these, like, what's it going to be tomorrow, right? What's Twitch going to do to me that's going to, do it. Another reason I want to do this is because I do feel like this is going to open up more opportunities for more people to enjoy the content in different ways. So much of the content I'm streaming now is like radically different categories. So I'm doing just chatting, then I'm walking the dog. I'm playing Dota. I'm longboarding, which is sports, and I'm going to be adventure cycling and be doing outdoors and adventure travel. And every one of those streams is going to be different, and it's going to be on a different device, and it's going to cause me to kind of drop the stream and bring up the stream again. And for the longest time, the Twitch people have been yelling at me saying, can you please just stop the stream and restart so we get notified that you're on? They hate that I leave the fish on. The really hardcore Twitch people they really, really hate it. They really hate that I don't stop the stream, even though I've created systems for Twitter notification and all of that, which, by the way, I will continue to do. I'm going to continue to do the notification through Twitter. And in fact, I've written a ton of code to do all of that. But yeah, there's a huge learning curve, and Jalape's been front and center helping me, even he's invented an alternative to GoPro that's going to be fantastic. And we really want it. In fact, we might even be working on that over Christmas. And yeah, I mean, it's ambitious, but we're shooting possibly for a TwitchCon presentation of a device that could be used for live streaming that will totally take the thunder away from live view, if we can do it. So stay tuned for that. But I mean, it's really amazing. His idea is really amazing. Nobody uses Twitter, Boomer. Straight it out with Discord. Yeah, I mean, Discord's fine too, but they do use Twitter, actually. There's a lot of people who use Twitter to be notified. And if I weren't following certain people on Twitter, I wouldn't know about things like Go programming. So I do think that Twitter is still a thing. And I don't think Facebook is, but Twitter still is. But I use it for notification. I don't use it to argue, or at least I don't anymore. Yeah, email notifications, Boomer email notifications too, right? We're still using email and Slack, right? So what are the main takeaways here? And I'll close up this video. I think the conclusion that I've sort of talked myself through here is that I'm going to turn VODs on Twitch for all the reasons I mentioned. I am going to attempt to start and stop streams. Yeah, they certainly don't. They use Twitch. I'm going to attempt to start and stop streams, and I actually don't know what the future of music and fishies anymore, because the music and fishies is, I think the thing to do there is to put a hard line, drop of the stream, and then start a new stream again. And when I start the new stream will have fishies, and that will be in the notification. The notification will be, okay, this is just fishies, I'm away. Right? And then, so you'll get a fishies notification. So the reason that's nice to do it that way is because if I do fishies and meditative music, or fishies and industrial, it's like I can vary the channel through the day. I kind of like this because I don't think Twitch is going to fault me for this, right? So let me present the idea here. So I'm going through the workflow checklist like Jalopy wants me to do. So when I'm going to start a new stream, Fishy's acid jazz, why the fuck not? Totally, I'm down. Let's do it. So it'll be, I can still get on my DJ. And my inbox is also full of fishies. Yeah. So I'm going to be doing. Nobody knows what I'm talking about. Well, if they're on YouTube, they're like, "What the hell is fishies?" And shoot, I did the wrong thing. Oh well. So this is what they're talking about. This is the fishies, which, by the way, the fishies are also going to have a game with them. We're going to be doing all kinds of game stuff with it as well. So that's going to be a thing. Yeah. Actually, do you mind my sharing that idea? So I had somebody privately share with me an idea that I've already thought of that I want to float past people. And that is to actually run a fishies fishies under animal, to start a stream under animals that just has fish in it. It's just meditative fish, and it runs 24/7, and it's an account, and then I raid the account. So that is kind of borderline with regard to Twitch, but it's something that could be done. You like that? Okay. There was already, by the way, there was already an ASCII Fish channel in Science and Tech that. So this, let me rewind to 2019. I guess I can't plausibly deny any of this now because it's all on a YouTube video, but we'll talk about it. But they rewind to 2019. Nobody had even seen ASCII Aquarium. They never even seen it on Twitch. No one. And I started playing this because I was messing around with, actually, I'm going to call that artofxrob.tv probably. Artofxrob Live will be me. So whenever artofxrob.live comes on, it'll be me. artofxrob.tv will be the ASCII Fish and the different styles of music and the game that you can play with it. You can host it. Yeah. Jump in and out as needed for peacefulness. Yeah. It's fine. I don't care if I'm recording this video. Yeah. We'll do some more stuff later. But I think we're done with that. And this particular video, actually, I can trim a little bit of it. I'll do a little bit of that. Yeah, it might get confused. Rob.afk. Is that a thing? Yeah, I didn't know if that was a thing. No longer ranting on DCMA. All right, so we're done. Let me end that video.